Hello, YouTube. We're back with another LCS VoD review, and this time around, it's the match that everyone's been waiting for. Undefeated TL against undefeated C9, and it was a TL 2-1. I'll be honest, I missed game 1. I was doing some prep work for NACL, so I only caught games 2 and 3. Excited to dive into this one with the rest of you. If you enjoy the content, feel free to drop a like, comment, and or a sub, and follow me everywhere on Cubby XX, especially Twitch, where you can catch me recording these live as we stream them. So, that said, let's dive into game 1. TL versus C9. Okay. So Aurora being banned on blue. Sejuani kind of select ban here. We're seeing more Sej bans as the season's been continuing, but has been very good in the Maokai Sej, and a lot of teams have started to deny Maokai and Sej from TL. Dig gave him a little bit of a headache in that series, and I think more teams are trying to push Umti's pool a little bit. That being said, it is Corki first pick, Ash Croc response. We have Ivern and then a Brand. So, honestly, I think I like the Brand here already. I think Brand has pretty good setup. You can power through Ivern. Like, you do so much damage. Yes, Ivern can absorb it, but really only so much. So, bans protect Ash. Bans protect Corki. Ends up being Zeri into Corki. Not that bad. And then Rumble Varus. I really like the Rumble pick. I think Rumble gets hella value here. And I was a bit surprised that C9 ended up going Braum. It's like, yes, while Braum is playable into Leona, and I think Ashe Braum's really good into this bot lane, I don't think you're that good in the Rumble. I think you're a little bit vulnerable in the Ivern too. And you kind of lack engage outside of Ashe R, Renekton flanks, or Brand, like, Rywise getting slower setups. So I still feel like onus is on TL, where... Should have... TL's bot lane's losing. They should have top push and top play. Like, that stuff's available. And they can use that to kind of position out of the map. I think their mid game can be really, really good. Also, Corki inside should be pretty good this game, so... Maybe like C9 focusing on JoJo getting a little bit ahead to break that can be nice. The Rumble's gonna lose both side lane matchups, but the Corki can win both side lane matchups like later on. And they definitely want Corki and Azeri. Okay. Alright, let's see how this one plays out. Oh my god. Oh, it got Berserker. That's a little unlucky. Ooh. Okay. Well, they got both summons out of Ashe. That's really big for bot lane. Thanatos drops the latest sword he can. Focus up, Berserker. And it's a lane swap. I mean, bot lane's bad, so this makes some sense for me. So this I've been talking all split. C9's yet to face TL and Fly. So all these stats are minus TL and Fly. Which is why I think, honestly, TL has the best... Like, C9's early games are very good. I take TL, because I feel like we've seen TL against Fly and now C9. I wonder if it's still the case. Sharing all the XP is interesting. Like, I feel like Thanatos got more than what he should have. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, is there a way to, like... See, if we're Ashe, we can actually, like, force Croc off the wave. But I guess it's harder as Leona. Varus. Okay, Impact's gonna get some XP here. He gets 2. This is all gone to the void. So it's 2 points for 1, and then they're gonna have Core stick around. Alright, nice. That's cheesy. I like it. Honestly, I do like it. I mean, you have Impact now with some advantage. And if he's able to get a reset in and come back to this lane, Thanatos should just lose it. That said, bot lane trade, it's going to be Ashe a little bit ahead. It was 2 points to Ashe, but you get out of the first couple levels, which are kind of nasty for Varys and Leona to play. It's really tough to play in Ashe Braum. And yeah, we're still going to see them struggle. Honestly, nice buffer from Core. I know Core is down flash. So Core traded this flash to the topside flash, and then come back and punish it on the long lane. Here's the other thing. Can Yawn, like, is there a world where Yawn can just get this wave in? And they get a bounce? Like, at least you can play off the wave, because they're kind of forced to play up to this wave. So I'm wondering if Yawn wants to... If, like, there is a world here where Yawn could fast push. And then try and get the bounce to get a lot of solo XP. It's like, what the issue is that the next wave comes in, right? So like that's how Core gets stuck. And Berserker just gets to walk up. And again, Core no flash, so easy. I do think the Core burns the W early. In this matchup, better for Leona to burn W when you're getting Braum stunned. If you're not going to eat all the damage early on, so. See War of Attrition top, still going alright for Impact. And Impact can TP back with big item advantage, so it's just top and bop advantages. And Core's up here. Banger. I mean, well played. That's... Damn. This is off a bot. Like, I know Core's dead, but the wave's in. And Yawn's able to get that in because the bot reset, and he gets to play top. That's a good timer from Core. They punish the flash being down, so well played. Ooh. Did APA cancel an auto? Did he? Nice play from Vulcan. There was a control ward in the pit. Maybe they thought it was Brand. I don't know. Like, Vulcan's not showing, so I think APA going in here with a W and no mana is an oops. That's fair. No flashes mid. Grubs for Drake traded. Top prio is in favor of TL. And they're holding Thanatos. They're kind of getting him out of the lane here. All right, now this is something that TL really likes to do. I know APA died, but after that, I really like this from TL. Like Yawn already walks mid, so he gets to clean up this wave. Then APA can TP bot, so they still get all 3 waves. Very well done. And like when you have your bot lane mid like this, you can't play both sides of the map. Support, you know, has to walk through river or base to go elsewhere. I'm with you a little bit there, Spawn. That was a bad death. Okay, Blabber gets his camp. It gives him 6. But they bring 3 top, and they're still starving Thanatos. They get that whole wave in. So it's still a win for TL. Good ult from Impacts. Really good rumble ult from Impacts. Blabber taking a lot of damage trying to get the stun. Murdering the bottle. That's funny. Ooh, good flash Berserker. Well played, Berserker. We know our limits. Some good side steps too. We see the rocket be missed, and then a rocket be flashed. And it's yeah, he just wins it. Well played. What? Really? Did they really do him like this? That is hilarious. Oh my god. Wow. I mean, I will say, guys, this is something where, like, okay, if you're playing into Braum, in a short lane, right? We have our Varus here. Braum in a short lane. What does Braum get to do? Braum can't make any proactive plays. Like, we saw him make the proactive play mid, but even that was off a core making a first move top where he had advantage. If you put Braum here, like, he cannot affect the map nearly as much as Leona in the earlier stages of the game. I really like how TL play this. Because, like, also Yawn, it's easier to defend Yawn from bot, whereas your vulnerable spot, or easier to defend Yawn mid, rather than him being bot, where you can stack up bigger waves in the long lane. I really like this from TL. Hello, Niction. Bronco Jimothi. A funny name. I mean, good buffer from APA, but you can see the sidesteps from Berserk is good, and he knows he wins it. So well done. Fucking Ash, man. Best cross map? Yeah, I mean, TL are just the best team when it comes to playing map, period. I think C9 early game is rival. I actually think FlyQuest cross map decently well, but they're very much more committed to 4-1s and overloads than TL. TL plays the map the most discipline. Yeah, I was bummed I couldn't make it to this match here. The arena looked awesome. Alright, so Blabber is clear topside, but he's spotted on a ward, so Impact knows, and MT gets something else. Wow, how does this ward get here? Wow. I mean, again, like, I know that it's even-ish early here, but I still feel like TL has a lot of control. It's based on how they played around top point, obviously. But even here, like, having the info on Blabber, they're sacking second grubs to get APA a lot, kind of get back in the game. I think a lot of other people felt that way, too. Yeah, it's fun. Like, TL waves are good, too. I mean, I will say, I think there's a world where I'd argue Impact can keep on walking. Like, again, C9, their only engage is Ash ult. Like, Impact being here now is fine, but I really don't know if C9 can even pull the trigger. Like, and Dragon's gone. Like, when these TPs come in. I say this just because, like, TL could play top wave faster. Like, is this needed? If we don't have a TP here, if it's not even, then do they pull the trigger, and how bad's the fight? I don't know. I'm not gonna nitpick this, but I think the handshake's fine. I do think that TL like wins a fight if they take it now. So I think Thanatos TPing there is honestly the mistake. Like, the match is fine, but yeah, that was simultaneous, man. Those beams were in sync. Nice. How'd this post play happen? We have bot mid. We have JoJo bot. We're just going to walk with him too. They did not kill a ward here. They just waited to sync up. And then JoJo walked a little bit in the Narnia. I don't know why JoJo's walking here. Oh, I mean, his jungle didn't base. They don't spot TL, but TL's pocket they carved out to take that dragon was so good. They just get to make a plan. JoJo. I really like the flash commit too from Core. That he gets shut down kind of sucks. Because that goes to APA, like he's actually just back at the game off that. Off that and like taking this turret. Because what, Poit's fall here is going to get a Poit and then take turret. Oh, he's Yeah. Well, Poit TL. Again, I think the comp that C9 has, it lacks proactivity. Like, your proactive play is Ash Arrow. Or fogging for brand pick. Or picks. I think Afshot killed JoJo there. Yeah, it could have been that or Ignite. Regardless, a little bit unfortunate. It's not Core JJ's fault by any means. It's a nice play, but just unfortunate, you know? Ooh. It's good Verisalt. Like, it's still going to catch Vulcan. Kind of unlucky that that's all they get. Honestly, I'll be honest. All right, so they're sacking bot for this. So they're gonna give up bot for their Herald play. They have top wave, so the Thanatos is on top wave. They should be able to take this. So that chunk was a little bit even, and I think TL traded down in cooldowns, but C9 just don't want to contest, and they don't have trigger pull. Like, again, arrow's down, so they can't do anything. I think that APA could have taken a more aggressive approach here. I like this play for TL, by the way. I think they kill Thanatos. I think this W angle's poor. I think that we actually need to, you know, cut him off. There is a TP. We cannot match. Okay, never mind. That's fine. I mean, he still W's in the face. Reactive flank with Braum W. Yes, that's a little bit harder to set up, though. Like, they don't have the waves for it. And even Braum W, you don't want Braum on the flank. You want Braum to hold the front line. He's Hodor, man. Braum is always Hodor. Yeah, it is. They took a pretty low engaged comp. They have other things going for them though. Like, they have double shiv. This clears waves really fast, so they can play waves and scale. I was talking earlier today about double shiv and how I don't really like shiv in the meta. Like, for me, shiv was taken out of the game because of how toxic it was with like Tristana in earlier seasons, where you would just build shiv on Trist. You would always clear waves, and then, oh my god, impact. Yeah, I mean, again, like, C9 just have to eat it right now. It's a really nice Q from MT, but great follow-up here from TL. Blabber's no flash, so that's a good find. Should be free Drake. Yeah, I mean, there's not much that C9 can do, but why I don't like Shiv is, like, you can take it on scaling champs, delete waves, and then always fog. That makes pick comps a lot better, and also harder to play into you. But, like, you get resources faster, and you get to, like, play map a lot more cautiously, and when you have a champ that's better with more resources, I feel like Shiv can really help funnel that and take away some of the windows to punish it. And they're, like, by that reasoning, I don't like where Shiv is in the game. I think that, like, how C9's using it, it's fine. I mean, it's good. I don't think it's wrong. I just don't like it for the game. I don't think it's a great play pattern. It's necessary on some champs. I just wish it was less accessible to some that can really abuse it. Blabber still no flash? I mean, guys, the way that TL, like, Blabber can't be here, and the punish is so good. Oh my god. Yeah, the TL team's in sync. I know they dropped this game. Okay. Impact steps a little bit too far up here. Did he not get redemption, by the way? This a bug? It's saying he should get redemption. He never gets it. What's up with that? Unless he, like, clicked, like, baby clicked out. That's kind of weird. Oh, wow. C9 has flashes on the backline, so I know Yawn. Vulcan actually played this. I don't like Vulcan's approach, but he's kind of stuck. I think Vulcan actually played this fight really well. Also really big that Bram was actually able to press R. Yeah, he did press R, so that's big. I mean, fun fight, honestly. I think the trigger pull from TL is on the right member. It's flashless. If Brand doesn't get R off, this fight could go differently. If Impact got redemption, I think this fight could go differently. I think the two big things are that JoJo and Berserker got the free fire on Impact. Like, this shield should have been on Impact and not Core. And then Vulcan and Thanatos both kind of escaped / were slippery. I think Vulcan actually put that fight really nice. It's a really hard angle to approach from Braum. And he was a distraction to really open up the C9 marksman to fire. I mean, I think the TL engage is good. Like, it's just not quite enough. Maybe Yawn also was interrupted from throwing out R here by Vulcan. And that's how Blabber gets ult off. So if he throws out R here, like, keep in mind, as long as it hits, then you get the tendrils. So, like, then you're in a range, like, it's actually kind of unplayable for C9. So I think Vulcan actually might have saved the fight here. That and the fact that Impact was stepped up to get redemption. This is a close fight. I think each team actually played this decently well. The idea from TL is good. They just didn't get the kill, you know? And I think Impact was too far up. I think I was, like, the biggest mistake. But even then, it wasn't egregious by any means. All right, TL don't mind fighting again. Like, they have really good engage tools, and C9 are down sums. You can really push the game forward with Leona if you want. So I kind of like how they're fishing. There's no Ash Arrow. That should be enough for them to start Drake, which they do. Good shit, TL. Yeah, once Ash Arrow is gone, hit the shit. All right, Impact gets a little stuck. Ooh, Blabber. All right, good trade. I mean, Blabber flash for that. That's expensive. Jojo? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Ooh. Oh, fucking hell. Fucking Bran. Alright, maybe it wasn't that crazy. Vulcan hitting the Q is big. Also red buff auto. I mean, I like the take from Blabber. He did burn flash, so it's expensive. But... Oh my god. I saw a rocket get in there. That might have helped with the smite. I mean... Sheesh. Yeah, Steel was really good. Thanatos has to be tanking. Vulcan is... I'm okay with... Hold me down. Okay. I think against these two, If we turn, hear me out. If we turn, I don't think Thanatos should be here. I think Thanatos, if we want to turn, should be here. Here's why. We're pretty low on sums for each team here. And this isn't hindsight bias for, like, you know, the fact that this was stolen this way. This is bias towards the fact that I want them to, if we're going to turn it all, it has to be off an Ashe W or an Ashe auto. Like, that literally is the CC that I think that you need to start this play with. And it's Ivern Corki. And if they commit too far up, then we can have Renekton wrap this way. And that's how we find the kill or the flank. By Thanatos standing here, we don't DPS this fast enough. And also Vulcan ends up having to play for this, which I don't... if Thanatos A is on this, we don't have to do this. B, he does get scouted. They're also the world. Umti's going to throw a W here. That's easier to attack this way. Because when Thanatos is here, we can't have Berserker hit. He's not in range. This range isn't doable. We need to cross this. It has to be off the W for this brush, I think. So if we're going to turn as C9, I do think Thanatos has to be up here. And he could also always point to the pit. And then they can turn here. So like he's got that angle too. I think here he's too far away. Also, if he's in pit, I do think that they burn this. Or it is for sure faster. I know they burn it, but... Because like once Thanatos is spotted, then this is actually... I mean, I still don't think that he should have gotten in. The fact, like, he roots Thanatos, it's the one person he can root, because what Thanatos is trying to do here is he's trying to E over the wall. Yeah, I mean, the concept is what it is, but I think that, like, we should understand as C9, like, let's start this with an Ashe auto against the champs that, like, we're up against. Which seems weird, but I think it's correct, given what we have on the map at that point. I like the pick on the impact a lot, just to deny the good equalizer. Alright, we're gonna go into a giant Baron replay to miss Core JJ getting caught in bot side. Core was wrapped on and impact let him die, so. What the fuck am I watching? What a champion. I mean, nice from Vulcan. It actually enables Blabber to step up like this. This is disgusting, though. Like, what did I just witness? Holy shnikes. Nice pushback from TL. They always get a TP out. Yeah, Brand is gross. I mean, I actually appreciate this. Again, this is TL's Baron, right? Which is only on APA. Oh, excuse me. Unironically, they kind of went out off the skirmish. I am kind of down for Blabber to go for this, though, after seeing how gross... Oh, he missed Q? He missed this Q. Blood is airborne, man. He has this play, by the way. Wow. Okay, he just missed. I mean, that one hits, but if the other Q hits, maybe he gets the sums out there, you know? But Ivern was able to reset. A good take from TL. Like, again, they have to force. If actually, one big thing, guys, if Core didn't burn his ult when he died, it's here for this fight, and that's huge. He's dead. So, I think Core burning his ult when he was dead is actually meant that TL couldn't take this play. Because Blabber's dead on my screen if Core has ult. So I do think Core was like dead there. Like Impact abandoned him, so I think dropping the ult was like actually worth being critical of. I know Leona ult, very low CD. We're on level 11 though yet though. Okay. If he has level 11 ult there, it's off cooldown too. Like before he died. Or like when he casted it when he died. Sorry. But not the case. Yeah, Leandri's good item. I think it's getting nerfed. Appa? Oh, the Braum ult's awesome here. I think it cancels the W. I saw like a little react there from APA, so APA doesn't have vision of this. And he got Mikhail's. It's a little bit unfortunate. But I do think checking this is bold. Like he is spotted. And they just got control in mid, so I get wanting to shift control into here, but they don't have it yet. Yeah, that was an oops. That hurts too, because like now we're in the play pattern where like the damage is gone, so we just get to run down the big front line from TL that like we have Rowey's against now, so we kind of outscale. Nice ult from Blabber to start the rundown. Like that ult from Blabber, because Rowey's was applied, did net 2 kills. Chase, take as much as you can. Good job, C9. I like that from C9. The chase is good. They're kind of gifted that kill in that opener, but the chase down was good. Yeah. Oopsie. Queen face check. So at this point, if our engages aren't clean, it's kind of hard. Blabber is flashless, but we weren't able to get to him. Yo, I'll be real. Doesn't P-Bomb spot Blabber? It should grant vision, no? Yeah, I think that this needs to be an E-flash from Core. I think Core actually had to send it here. I think that when you spot the P-Bomb like that, like we have to send it because we need to connect on Blabber so that this is free. And we can't have this. That's like a little bit nitpicky, but I do think that we have to send it. Because for me, there's a world here where E-Flash can hit. I think Core dances around the W, and that's good from Blabber because it buys space, but I think we just need to say, fuck it, we ball. Even the E-Flash here from Core, it's not as good because he's like through the choke now, but I'm down for it. Like, if we find Blabber before he gets to the choke, it's so fucking good for us. STL, by the way. I think Core's got to send it here. If you lose the game here, you lose the game. But this is your best engaged target. You're taking out like the super high damage, magic damage person. That is flashless and immobile. So. And Core goes to die for the sins of his jungle mid. Oh, that was a lot from Berserker, actually. Dude, Impact. How is Impact so fucking good? He pushes Croc out of the fight completely. And then comes back and overheats at the perfect time. Jesus Christ, man. He's such a good Rumble player, but wow. This is an amazing fight from Impact. Look at, like, he takes Thanatos out of the fight completely. And then, hello. Wow, that's really good. That's really, really good stuff from Impact. Really, really good stuff from Impact. Yon's fight's also relatively solid. Nice backstab from Umti to make sure that Pyroclasm doesn't keep on bouncing. So, well done. I mean, Impact actually 1v9 that fight. Are we gonna long chase Thanatos? Nice. I really like the idea of the sweeper on that too, by the way. Nice. Well, good shit from TL. Nothing is taken for free. Jojo gets top for free off this, but it's okay. They get a really nice Baron power point now because Thanatos' Death Chamber. I mean, please... Actually, I'm curious if... Give me a sec.
Hitting the snare here, so they all follow through. But here's a look at how it started. I really feel like Teal shouldn't go so deep. They always have zone, just play with the range. But in here, one Joker overcommits. Luko J, he's so dead here. He's slow, and he will never not be slowed at this point. I think Sinan takes a free kill here on Core J and just calls it the day. But look at everyone from Sinan, they just flash in. Free kill here on Core J. And
I agree, but I think the Blabber's like still dead on my screen. Like, it would be a 1-for-1.
Look at everyone from Sinan, they just flash in. Flabber's in a very deep position. Berserker flashes in and gets 1v1.
Berserker's flash is bad. I didn't highlight that.
I just feel like C9 could have taken the small win there. Which
if I'm casting this, the reason I unmuted, which I never do, I would have only talked about how good Impact played that, by the way. I really think that like this was all Impact. Forcing Thanatos off and then overheating at like the perfect time. It's so good. I think Berserker Flash was also the big like part of that play going wrong for C9, but I thought Impact played that so well. Okay, Impact did not play this so well. Nice flash from Vulcan. It's the greatness of Ashe. There's a lot of info here. TL's just split, and C9 force it with Ashe and Bran. It's good. Well played. And that's taking away... Yeah, and then they just play the lane. Nice. So they force TL to base. That's really good from C9. That's good from C9. This is why I wanted to see C9 pushed. Because like, I haven't seen them have to make decisions like this. This is a good decision for C9. This is good. Nice. Yeah, they're trying to like transition to the bot, and they force the play with Berserker, and then they get TL with Baron on themselves to play at the beat of their own drum. And they take Drake in the back half. That's really good. That's a really nice sequence from C9. Fun game. I mean, I saw that like game 1 was a banger. I didn't realize how much of a banger it was. It's a fun game. Map's quiet. I think at this point, the game's a lot harder for TL. Again, I think TL for me, their early mid game is very explosive, but it's a lot easier now for like the Ashe, Seri, Braum to eat and engage and really turn it onto TL. Like TL really are range gated outside. Like if their ultimates aren't big, then I think they really struggle in some of these fights. Oh my god, they found Blabber. He has flash. And Impact isn't in range for ult, so he kind of holds it. Okay, that's still nice. Did Impact just go to Rumble? Yeah, I love this from TL, by the way. This is so good. By just cutting him out of the wave like this, it's really, really, really good. This is the kind of shit that I feel like the top teams do well. Like when, like, oh, this is the fact that like get to hit mid first. Whoa, that is illegal. Yeah, Daisy did some work here. I mean, I think either way, C9 have to retreat though. Like they don't want to fight in the choke against Rumble. Oh no. Yeah, they burn Rumble ult, so their play's over. And they get out. Yeah, good discipline. They reset, and then they just do something else. Good. That's really good discipline from TL there. We're playing on equalizer timer. And they got really good vision behind C9 now. So like I mean, they don't have a comp setup angles. If they did, it'd be really like that would be an even better sequence. I think C9's best bet is honestly to fight them in mid. So if I'm gonna give any criticism here for TL, it's really tough for them to play mid wave at this point. And C9, like if they get fights in the middle of the lane, I do think it's better for them. It's a little bit harder to line up like really strong Rumble ults when you are in all this open space. And C9 can play with the range advantage a little bit more in the open space too. So if anything, I think that fighting over all these waves is like the one criticism, but TL has to fight over the wave if they want it. They don't win at this point. Ooh. Okay, burning down on impact's bad. Nice hop from JoJo. Oh. C9's so split though. Another fat Daisy coming out. Just a fat fucking Daisy going right towards JoJo. Oh my god, the Mikhails. Fuck the support, go play the wave. Wow. They want the Chemtech? They've been on the map for a really long time. C9 could just force Baron here. Yeah, APA is going to TP back. Oh. This TP from APA was kind of crazy, for being honest. Yeah, that TP from APA was game losing. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, this game was really good. That's it, right? Yeah. Oh, shit. That sucks. Yeah, APA has no need to TP here. He's TPing to make sure like they can make sure that C9 just can't one tap the Baron, because then you can get the same play pattern where TL brute force mid and then force C9 to respond to them in the lane, and that's how they actually get into the jungle in the back half. I feel like they should have went Baron to the drag. I think they should have went Baron too, if I'm being frank. But they don't want to give Chemsol, which I don't think is incredibly valuable this game. But TL do kind of lack, like, you get damage resist at the end of a fight, and it's not terrible for what C9 has, just because A, Renekton can abuse it, and B, I think it's kind of tough to like for TL to actually polish off targets. I mean, send one to drag at least. Yeah, I don't like that either, actually. I mean, what we're advocating here for is to go straight to Baron after this. I don't like sending one. I actually like going 5-man reset and go Baron, which I guess TL just took the free objective. I know they don't take Baron, but I really think this is the right play, given how APA plays this. It's just the TP was bad. This is the right play, because what happens now is APA TP's back here. They push out this wave as 5. They get the same play pattern where C9 is then forced to respond to them in mid, right? And then once they get C9 trapped up here, that's when they're able to overtake this, and then they're fine. And we just saw that play pattern act out with the last fight and skirmish here. It's exactly what TL can rinse and repeat this on this upcoming wave. TL want to do the same thing on this wave, by the way. C9 like they don't have to respond bot, but if you keep on showing up mid, then you're forced to respond, and they get this wave, and all they have to do is play towards their strong side, which is just over here as they clear everything out, and then you just play wave and catch it up here, and it's fine. But yeah, the AP ATP was really bad. Unlucky. This is a really, really good game. Good flash from Berserker this time around. He got out of Rumble ult and... Oh, okay, he got one tapped. Doesn't matter. Impact's like 1 or 2 autos away from getting Blabber. It was a maybe. Close game. I still think that TL still shows such good stuff on map. Alright, guys. GG's. Good game. C9 game 1. Going on to game 2. Alright. Fun draft. Ezreal first pick for TL this time around. So no Corki. We leave Sejuani up. And Aurora is not banned by TL this time around, so they throw the baton over to C9. Instead, they take out 2 Thanatos champs and then fuck Bren. Which is fine. So we end up with the Sej Maokai matchup. I think Sej has pressure early on this. Not really later. And C9 taking Vulcan off of an Engager and put Vulcan onto an Enchantress, which I was very surprised about. I will say, though, I fucking love the Karma Ezreal and the Ashe. This lane gets fucking slapped by this lane. They get fucking slapped. Now, Lulu has really good scaling into the game with Zeri and Ashe. But I think TL's mid game is really good. And when you're able to take away one of the frontliners here and make this a 4v4, I'm really, 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 really going to favor TL. We have extreme range advantage. Extreme range advantage this game. And Mordekaiser, like, taking away one of the tanks can just accentuate that. Because you're taking away one of the things that can help actually close the gap and dogpile onto TL. I really like the Mord pick. I think it was actually really based this game. We're a hair magic damage heavy on TL. That's okay. It doesn't matter. We just need to make sure that we're poking these two. Once these two get BT, it gets a little hard. Like some of your power goes away as TL, if that's the case. And that's when I think C9 could overtake this game again. I don't think the C9 comp is necessarily bad. I just think that TL have massive early mid-game advantage before BTs come in. And I do favor the TL draft off that. C9 draft just needs time. They need, and I think it's too much time. That said, I don't really know what you play into Karma. Because you're going to get thwacked. This is a game where if I'm C9, I lane swap. How'd you guys almost lose when I'm trolling? You're going to lose your shit. Yes, lane swap. Good job, C9. Nice. Actually, that was cute. That was cute. I like it. Impact does clear very fast. Blabber did smite first camp. But MC can't get in. Take that. While this is all going on, we have Yon solo bot, and Core has walked up. And honestly, I mean, when I see C9's comp, in this scenario, they're lane swapping 100%. They have to lane swap this game. They do have to lane swap this game. Umti, though, being sent back into the Stone Age is pretty good for them. I'm just surprised that TL walked into their topside jungle. Alright, time for Impact to be the GOAT. Can't dive him. You have fucking Lulu. Really, 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 really good TP from APA. This is so good from APA, guys. This is what APA never got credit for as a rook, and what he deserves a lot of credit for is his map play. He got this wave in, and then TP's top. And this really saves Impact's game and fucks C9 in the lane swap. I'm gonna nitpick TL here a little bit. Oh, never mind. Okay. When you are in a lane swap scenario and no one's in the lane, you want to catch the creeps up here. These towers scale off of how many members are around them when it comes to your resistances. So if you catch the wave up there, the towers take more damage from your minion wave that's crashed. And then they get double TP for this bot wave. While this all went on, Impact TP'd to catch mid. And then APA is now in a 2v1 where Lulu cannot pressure him. And Impact got the wave in mid. And now they have 4 people on the bot side of the map, so we can make sure that it goes over to Umti. Umti had a bit of an awkward game here. But, again, hand kind of forced by C9. Wow, TL's response to this line swap was so good, actually. It was so good, actually. The TP from APA is so good. I mean, C9's map is on fire. Wow. The fact they got a double TP for the bot wave and then got Impact that top wave is so, so, so big. And then they get the swap. Yep. And Impact's pretty much ahead. He's got time to burn. He's like, fuck it. Chunk Jojo. Really good chunk on Jojo. He's got no TP. He does have fleet. He can sustain a little bit, but... Keep it all together. All right. It's 6 minutes. Empty wins. Oh, he lost? How? Oh, he just got a smite down when Empty queued it. Wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy steal from Blabber, actually. You're fucking Maokai, you don't lose those. But Empty didn't throw the smite down. Wow, okay. Good ward here from TL. Mid's dead. Jojo's hovering the other side. I like this walk from Jojo. This is actually quite good. Even if it turns out to be nothing, I'm fine with this. I think it's the right idea, for sure. Damn. Oh, yeah, this is where the game was lost. I mean, Yawn has such a thick fight here. I don't get why C9 pushed this hard. Because I can understand wanting to R that. Berserker has a bad click here, by the way. I think this click's bad. Wait, does he cancel an auto? Hold on. Yeah, because he can't really stay in range. And I just don't ever see a world where they win this. I really don't ever see a world where they win that. Early heal by Vulcan. I mean, that's fine. I'm fine with early heals. Like, you're trying to stay in range. It should have been earlier, because, like, Berserker wasn't in range for that, you know? Turn on Az earlier. And the target was core. It's hard to turn on Az. I will say, like, ignoring Az hurt. Core, you go for core if you want the all-in. I think autoing Az would have been smart to at least just, like, get it slow. I don't know. I just think this is, like, way overforced. I think they're trying to burn some so that when Sedge comes, they can actually get something done, but then you got to take away, like, cleanse from Yawn. And we walk over a ward here as Blabber. And it gets hard. I really like the wall block from MT. It's a really good try, even if it doesn't hit. And the sap placement was awesome. And it's GG. Guys, this is confirmation that Yawn's better than Noah, by the way, because he wins this game. You know, regardless of the fact that he beat up on Fnatic a couple times, you know. Yawn played this very well. That's my... I gotta go for the memes, though. That's my Akinoki Ezreal right there. Real ones will know. Also, I love seeing my boy Haytham get hype here in the back. Let's go. Yeah, I saw Let's fucking go in there. When does SR fly after this? I didn't exactly see how they caught Blabber here. But I know that Raz went over this on the, like, post, whatever. But TL likes to move their bot lane mid around grubs. They do this a lot. I think that other teams need to pick it up, frankly. Yeah, Emily went over it. Thank you. Eighth heads rise up. Oh, real ones, no, for sure. But it can open up timers, and this is one where they find Blabber pretty caught out. It's because of the deep board from after his base. Yeah, you can see the control ward in there. It's really, really good. Again, TL play maps so well, and they do so, like, down really well, too. Yawn's ahead. He's got Triforce. He bases, but Core wants to stay on map. He is walking over wards. They just make a play on top side, so he's a little bit on weak side himself. And of course, Core doesn't have flash, so I think the play from C9 is okay here. APA answers back to the best of his abilities, but there's no play for him. They get Grubs. So Core's walk, going for that ward, a little bit greedy if he wants to play for bot lane. Should go around the wall. He doesn't own that side of the map. Yeah, try to go for it. Not the case. Vying going from Armeo's Lilia to Inspires was the biggest whiplash in modern history. I gotta say, I was a little bit of an Armeo defender because I feel like the drafts for Lilia were really shit in that series. I think that Lilia was picked kind of early, and Lilia was not going to be an effective champion in those drafts if played correctly. And props on Under Thieves, they played it correctly. Because if you play against Lilia, just kill Lilia first. Okay, I like this from APA a lot. He has team rotating. He just caught the wave. He's just going to go bait cooldowns and then flash to his team. And he had Maokai up behind, so now C9 just gets fucked for it. That's 100% intentional bait. I love it. Good shit, APA. The fact they only get ones, actually kind of a bummer. Look, they just get... He's like, you know, throw shit at me. Blabber doesn't have ult. They'd probably be tracking that. A locked-in team's tracking that. Two minutes. Yeah, I mean, TL does this quite frequently, by the way. Like, they're really, really, really good at that. It's a locket for Umti. I gotta say, I was a little bit surprised by that. I don't think Zeke's is the best on Maokai. And you don't need to go magic damage because you have Mordekaiser. I also think that Moggs against this team is not good. But I thought it would be like Zeke's. I'm pretty down with Zeke's. Oh, yes. How'd they spot Blabber? Oh, it's the P-bomb? That's unfortunate. I mean, Blabber's sack, like, this is how out of reach C9 feels the game is at this point. They're down 5k gold. Like, all their turrets have gotten blasted, right? So Blabber's going to try and look for something cheesy. But, again, I really appreciate what TL does here. They have their numbers. They take Rift. They just immediately drop it. And they're like, all right, fuck you. You don't want to show? Good luck. And they blow the shit. They blow the shit out of this game. Also, JoJo was engaged upon with no flash needed from MT. MT just waiting and finds JoJo. And MT gets under the W, which is quite big. So, really well played by TL. Still. Oh. And Blabber is wasting all the time on the planet to get that one over. I mean, it's so good if Core delays Blabber like that. It's so good. Like, he's, like, what is he doing there? And you're sacking your support to, like, make sure that Sedge is into the game when you have a Mordekaiser and, like, can get numbers advantage out of anything. It's very pog. It's very pog. I don't even give a shit if you have Mordekaiser or not. I think more accentuates that scenario. Yeah, I mean, this game was just a wash. Very based flash from Impact. You gotta be careful what your flash on Mordekaiser. Just gotta make sure that, you know, you're using it well. Shots was good. Oh, my shame. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Impact got stunned before he got in there. Wow. I mean, he was able to buffer, which is interesting. Big shield. JoJo forced to flash. Doesn't eat the root, but Impact gets out. He gets a little bit more damage down. And as long as Yang can fire, it's a problem. Wait. What did Impact die to? Unlucky. Oh, is that Sejuani Soul Field? Big value. And yeah, we're trading outer for inner. Oh, also, when you're heading grubs, you can always trade up. If you're ahead on the play, I think TL abuses this really well. Something that a lot of our LPL teams do extremely well. I think LPL is actually, like, probably the best at abusing grub advantage. In terms of, like, how, like, if you trade and it's even, you will always trade up if you have grubs, so they'll really force it. For that reason, too, yes. I think it's the correct read in the game. I actually do. If you have a strong top side and you're able to push your mid game as hard as you can and take a few inners, like, you can really overwhelm teams, like, as Baron spawns. All right, JoJo cannot play this wave. Why? Because of where mid's at. So mid's in. 2 camps are spawning. JoJo's playing this wave. I think you got to play to retreat and either A, defend the camps, or B, not open yourself up to this. Because this is pretty thick. It's a really nice ult from MT. Really like the Q from MT, too. Tried to knock JoJo into second route. He almost got it. Vision control over Baron, yeah. The rockets from APA are very good. We're going to ignore that last one. He probably should have emote spammed. The rocket before he flashed into the minions was very high value, you know? Facts. Impact's just gonna yoink Blabber. Never even needed. Very good. And then TL just brute force with Baron. Ashar goes wide. They force Blabber back. That's one inhibitor. Turret down free. Their lead's too big. It's not much to talk about here. It's kind of just game. The early game, like, watching TL blow up this map, and, like, the breakdown that Emily did about it was... I mean, TL's been doing this all split, but it's very impressive. And, yeah, this TL team is, like, they're very disciplined and really good at taking map. Okay.
A few moments later.
All right, thanks, guys. I had to patch together an interview for NACL, so we had to take a break before Game 3. But we are now back on YouTube and on the stream, so let's dive in. Really nice Game 2 from TL, and this time around, looks like C9 still going to take the Sejuani side of the matchup. We don't have many adaptations and bans. We actually took away Gnar instead of Renekton. So we're giving up Sejuani plus Renekton here as TL. We prioritize Ezreal, Maokai more. I will say, this is a lot of space that you can create, and we're actually opting into what a lot of people consider a counter matchup, just to make sure that if TL gets ahead at some point, like with these first 3 picks versus these first 3, game's kind of over. And I really like the Jax pick. I really think that Jax should have been banned here. And we're showing Renekton plus Yone, and we're not going to ban Jax, a champion that deals decently well with Sejuani plus Renekton, and also can beat Yone in a side lane. I think that's a mistake. I think that we're really taking away one of our win cons here for C9. I would have changed up this draft 100% to at least ban Jax. We have someone in the chat. Do you think C9 trolled letting Umti have Maokai both games while picking Sej? No, I like Sej and Maokai, I'll be honest. I think that like Maokai, Sejuani, it's a lot of people view it as a handshake, but you have more options early on as Sejuani, and you should be able to play the game faster. Also, you're the one that can usually pull off the engage first. I think it's fine. I do think it's one of Umti's better picks, and it's really good for TL. Like, thematically, you can beat this. Like, the first 3, like, I think TL's first 3 is a little bit easier to execute, and if you make mistakes at C9, you're going to get outscaled. But this is winnable. Like, you can actually play out some side lanes here. I think a Corki, though, has a little bit more value than what some people think. I appreciate the self-counter pick from APA to take Corki, because the amount of space that we can get for these 2 marksmen with Maokai alone is great, and then the fact that we give up Jax. That's my big thing this game. Giving up Jax, for me, is the mistake. Because this beats these 2 in sides later on, and it can somewhat deal with Sejuani. And, I mean, it's a great pick for Impact. It always has been. So, we return to this. I don't think we need to ban Braum, by the way, if we're going to return to this. And then it's just Nautilus for lane. And the Naut's fine here. Thoughts on Aurora here? I mean, you're blinding Aurora. If Aurora comes in, then APA, if he's based, he picks a control mage, and I think the game's hard. Like, you just Orianna. So, I don't love Aurora here. Anyway, let's get to the game. I think letting Jax through when you're hovering Renekton, Yone, and you want to play sides is a big mistake. I just think Jax thematically can really answer what C9 wants to do, and it makes the timer that C9's on even harder for them to hit. I'm actually kind of shocked. Maybe, I think C9 does this because we... Oh, wait, hold on. I was focusing on the cinematics and not the actual minimap itself. I think Blabber's dropping this ward to try and scout if there is a lane swap going on or not. They don't spot Impact here. They don't spot core yet either. So it is going to be a swap. Oh, okay, they spot core there. Oh. Okay, core's like, alright, let's get the win. I do think the C9 wants to land heads up. I really do. I think that this is them kind of calling the TL lane swap, if anything, which is not bad. Uh-oh. By the way, Impact, I gotta say it, Impact's my MVP of the split. I think that whatever happens this upcoming week of LCS, probably doesn't affect that vote. I don't get a ballot, but Impact's my MVP. I will make a ballot on stream. I feel like I should get a ballot, but that's fine. Maybe that's a little bit egotistical of me. Or I should say, entitled of me. But do you think NRG is gonna take down TL this weekend? No. I think TL gets undefeated. Okay, we have first move. So the clear that Umti did, I liked actually quite a bit. I'm gonna go back in time, but we're Wolf start, which is really safe against like potential lane swap scenario. So he's gonna wrap up top. We have a swap back. Curious. C9 swap back. I guess they're trying to call C9 swap or TL swap. I mean, they do so properly. Yeah, first move here is Maokai, at least getting Jojo Flash instantaneously. And then Renekton TP'd back and Jax walked back. Guys, it's really big that TL gets this wave in. Because TL gets this wave in, when the swap comes in, we actually have the scenario where Impact can walk back. Because this wave is... Oh, actually, no. This wave's going to be even. Nothing was aggroed. I think Croc should walk back to this. I don't think you get anything from TPing to this, by the way. You have XP advantage, which now needs to be hit by Blabber, but Blabber's clearing away from you. Maybe I'm just coping, but I think this iteration of TL might be the best LCS team ever. It's not. The best LCS team ever was the 28-3 C9 split in spring of 24. That will not be toppled. That C9 team could pressure Samsung Blue, by the way. So. By those metrics, it's a decent comparison, but I would argue that... Nah, I wouldn't make that argument, actually. I'm not going to take too much away from TL making that. Blue was a great team that year, but by the time Worlds hit, White was better. Like, they just got the early game down. But yeah. Yeah, it was, but still, like, you got to accept eras, I think. And, like, I mean, just definitively, that was the most dominant team ever. Like, they went, what, 25-3 or something? And then, like, undefeated, they're like, drop one map in playoffs. Like, you're not beating that. Alright, one grub was taken by TL. And then they had the sack. Honestly, the fact they got one grub against Croc is pretty big. I think that Croc is, like, just grub losing scenario. Like, this comp that C9 has, the fact that they only got 2 out of the 3 grubs is a win for TL. It really is. Yes, blue was the shit in that era. Still, one of my favorite finals of all time was the KT Arrows versus Samsung Blue in that OGN summer. Unreal. Impact at his best. I mean, Impact buys as much time as he can, but like once he drops the E here, it's kind of Jover, unfortunately. Just with Blabber being here first. I think Impact actually does a really nice job of buying time. He's trying to get his E back up. And he does get an ult and a flash out of Thanatos for this. Ult out of Blabber and a flash out of Thanatos for this. So Impact actually played this really well. I actually played that about as well as it could once he E's. Umti killing that wave there, by the way, keeps things even, which is big. But yeah, that was off the TP from Impact, so Impact's at least able to walk back and be even. But when he takes this trade, it's Ogre. He's got a thick wave, and they're tapping him, and then Blabber's here. And Blabber Flash keeps the wave on him, so we'll play. I mean, he really did his best. Oh, so Drake taking off that? I can see this from the map. Looks like Blabber cleared his top side. And Umti skipped all of his camps to get here. Keep in mind that we're, again, in a scenario where Ezreal is mid. The double marksman that TL play, oftentimes they will shift their bot lane or mid, and they will put their stronger member that has more XP early bot or in a side lane. I think this is really good. I wish that other teams would adapt this. It just makes sense to me. It's easier to protect your individual with less resources mid than it is in the long lane, if you really want to have your support move. And by doing this, I think TL accentuates one of the better parts of their game, which is core gets to move. Anytime we talk about core being at its best, it's when core is able to move and impact the map. So you're putting your weaker member in the lane where they're going to be safer across the map. More people can hover, and it's harder to dive on mid. As opposed to a side lane where you're trapped against the wall, and it's a long lane. It's easier to stack waves. So APA is going to be there when he's up 2 levels on Yawn right now. Keep in mind, for me, this is very basic, and for whatever reason, TL is the one team that's the most disciplined in doing this. I really feel like that. Like this is, this is something that like really puzzles me that teams do not do this in the LCS and frankly across the world. I actually think TL has this right. I think that this should be the meta. I really do. But I will, say in this case, even playing something like Lucian Nami, that's kind of forced to be a pair. So like by splitting it up here, I hate this scenario for C9. What is Berserker doing in this lane, down a level? Like this should be Yone here. You cannot punish this matchup. Like Corki gets the free scale. It's part of the reason why TL gets to get away with taking shit like Corki into Yone. Because they actually, for me, again, putting their weaker member in mid and then putting their stronger member with more XP bot in the long lane makes sense. So it's not your traditional mid bot, but it's better. Hey, what's up, Stacy? Yeah, it's the last game. We're talking about TL's advanced map strats by abandoning APA in the bot lane. He has the more gold and more XP, so he's harder to dive in that lane. As opposed to Yawn. And then we let core move. Okay. We're gonna drop Grubs. Banning out my boy. They're gonna force at some point he's gonna get Ziggs. Someone's gonna drop a Ziggs ban. And APA will have to remind them, How did this break out for C9? Okay, TL are just out. They just don't want this play. They don't see anyone bot. They're going to take the plate on the Corki, and they're just going to sack Grubs. So they're down 5-1. Really good when he doesn't troll like game 1. I mean, even game 1, his side landing is like, he did troll, but it's still fine. I think that's... APA is always played map really well, actually. He does have a slew of other champs. It is good meta for him. Unironically. He was an old school Tristan the Silas player. And his marksman play back then was like always pretty decent. So, I actually think he was faster than some of the other mids to pick up the marksman. It's been good. Again, so Jax was that through. Jax is behind Yone, but Jax still okay in a Yone. You're fine. You just trade your E's. Sidestep some Qs. You're okay. You can catch waves and it's chill. And again, TP bot, so we maintain the lanes. C9 can't really break anything at the moment. Corki into Croc's fine, by the way. Again, Corki would much rather be into Croc than Yone. Oh, Jojo's gonna have to ult. Oh, we got... Did he eat both roots here? No, it's just a... I mean, well played. Really, really well played by TL. Think we see the Eastern teams let Ziggs through at Worlds? Probably. And I think you can have stuff prepped in the Ziggs. I think there are matchups that like people don't play that are okay. I think some of the answers teams add in Ziggs are like brutal. Like playing a Kali, like what are we doing? APA's dad in Korean and he plays with 4 Koreans. So they're basically calling him dad if he... That's actually really funny. I didn't know that in Reeves. I don't know if you're trolling or not. If that's the case, that is pretty funny. I mean, if he's dad, Impact's grandpa then, right? He's actually not trolling? That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, solo turret for Corki, guys. Like, Corki is on pace with Yone, and in these lane assignments, like, he's up on Renekton. Again, I think the way that TL is playing their lane assignments, getting APA to his side lane so quickly is so based. They're using the first 5 minutes to pretty much get more resources on their mid laner, and like play to his side. It's so good. I also just love like how TL will take shit. So like here they take Croc TP, and then they actually switch up the side lanes, and immediately, well, you can see they make a play. Jax is in base for that too, so we can TP to answer, by the way. And then they spot Jojo, bot. They flush them out of mid. And then Jack's able to beat Croc to this wave. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the C9 comp, like, already is kind of out of gas. How are you going to deal with the double mirror mono comp coming online, you know? And I don't like Berserker's items. I just don't think that he can do much. It feels like a weird build to me. Right when I speed it up. Nice buffer from core. It actually opens up an engage. Really, really well navigated by C9. Like, the fact that they only eat one of these routes is actually pretty damn good. That's well done by... I know Blabber stacks himself for that, but it's the right move. It's a really nice move from Impact. Again, TP advantage. Thanatos TP to catch a wave top and to get the right lane assignments. TL actually have TP advantage off of this because they were better at lane assignments, and C9 had to burn a TP to fix it. No answer from Thanatos. Yawn. Okay, so the first time I casted Yawn in 2020, his name was Akinoki. And he was an Ezreal player. And he was a really good Ezreal player. He's always been a really, really, really good Ezreal player. I believe he used this. Did he use this skin? Okay, I just fucking cursed him. I cursed him in a review. I will say the Q from MT did kind of troll him a little bit, being Elis. So. Thanatos, yeah, I think sometimes you can get a little bit lost. I don't really blame him, though, for this one. I think that the walkdown's bad, but, like, I don't know who's calling this. Like, for me, the error is the fact that, like, he even just walked top in the first place. Like, if they want to play this wave... I honestly think it's just a bad force from C9. Like, C9 have to force, that's the other thing. I don't know. This kill's not great. I mean, being there in the first place is not great. And if you don't take down Yawn, then the Drake is for sure free for the enemy team. I would rather trade out there. I'd rather trade out than save flash and not trade at all. I don't know. I just don't think it's the right take for C9. I think C9, like, their game is, like, to this point, is they're here because TL played the early mid game and the lane assignments are just way better. I really don't think C9 expected to see APA just live inside lanes, which I mean, kind of surprised me. I don't know. I really like how TL played, honestly, all 3 maps. But I think this map was, even though they won the last game harder and it was a more impressive snowball, the stability of this map for me was pretty impressive. Like, the sequence they had in the last map was hands down the most impressive sequence of the series, but I actually think, like, how they were changing up the lanes to keep things neutral was almost equally as impressive in this game. Because, like, your goal against the C9 comp is to not break. If you don't break, you win this game pretty hard. Like, I think TL is in a rather unlosable position right now. And, like, all the swaps they had to keep things neutral, like, just burn small things out of C9 were way too good. We're like, this game's been way too controlled for TL. Against a C9 comp, or like, they're just built to break, you know? It's really good map play. Really, really good map play. Yeah, MT should never survive this. I don't know why TL's here, I will be honest. This was a reach for me. Like, they have bot wave in and they have mid. I just think that MT playing for that control ward is really troll. He's kind of has to take the W. Like, his exit is what he has to do, but it's just troll. Really nice stun on the Thanatos. It's kind of slept on. But if Thanatos stuns APA, they can, like, maybe chain him up. C9 just has nothing left in the tank, though. They should run. Yeah, they have nothing else. So, I mean, again, Thanatos is down flash. He did TP here. He just got locked the fuck up. I really like the E from Yawn. Yawn's... Like, again, if Thanatos is able to get on Yawn, then there is a play. The front line of TL played that really well to make sure he was locked up. Because if he stuns Yawn, then Berserker gets on him in this fight. So, I mean, I guess TL just win. I mean, I think TL are in a pretty unlosable position. Also, the 5 steel caps is very based. Because there's minimal magic damage on C9, which we also didn't talk about. So the itemization, straight up more efficient for TL. Lucian mid, Yone hard matchup into Corki. Oh, then pick Lucian. Was Lucian up? Yeah, I don't think Yone can push it super hard. I think it's playable, though, with Sejuani. They just missed their timers. I think mid-game they just got cooked. I would have rather seen them ban Jax. If they want Yone and Renekton, they should have banned Jax. That was the thing I had the biggest issue with. And look at what fucking Jax does to open up this fight. Like, Jesus Christ. How filthy is this champ in this game? UMT refuses to be collected. Oh, look, we have an E up again. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, TL actually resetting.
Okay. So they're resetting the answer to the C9 deploy, so they can be first. And they aren't 100% first, but like, they're just trying to match. Which with gates, they're going to be fine. There's just nothing for C9 to force at this point. It's so hard. So now we got sums down. We have a second Maokai ulti, and this one gets a little bit more work done. They really chunk out Berserker. They can catch this mid wave super high. They're going to have Impact go bot, and they just threaten Baron. They can fog the Baron. They're going to take all their jungle camps. Yeah, I mean, C9 just continue to, like, try and play in lane. I don't know what C9's solution is, though. I honestly think that, like, my issue with C9 is, like, they're kind of perma-grouped at this point. I think that, like, being in the 5v5 scenario against Corki Ezreal, like, Maokai, you're just so chucky-fuckied. Like, you just have to go to side lane. You just drop mid, play into a side, and do your best. But you can't play into the Jack side, so, like, the game... Again, the game's pretty over. Yeah, I mean, I think the end of this game for C9, like, they don't have a lot of options in draft, but I think it's really tragic that they just walked mid and got Maokai ulted 3 times, just, like, lost the war of attrition in the first 2 fights, and then get blown up in the third. Like, that is actually a pretty depressing way to go down. Nice W from Umti. Like, I at least appreciate, like, the attempt on the JoJo. Yeah, I mean, you can just see how defensive C9 has to play. Fuck the dragon. We have Baron. We're going to play the waves. Then we're going to take dragon on exit. That's fine. Dragon doesn't really matter that much for TL. I mean, Soul would be nice for these two, but, like, they don't need it to win the game by any means. So just play your lanes. I mean, nice bait from JoJo. I guess that's a decent attempt from JoJo. At this point, it's like, you know, better than nothing. Oh my god, they're gonna kill the raid boss. I mean, how'd this fight go the way it did? Again, kind of cute from JoJo, like, using the boss cone to at least split Jax away from the fight. He autoed that. I'm sure that was on purpose. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but it did turn out pretty good. Alright. So, I mean, that's a scenario where things weren't terrible for C9. Yep. It just doesn't matter, though. Like, this Ezreal's so fucking big. The Corki's so big. It just doesn't matter. MT healing for 380 health on these autos is pretty thick. They should just take C9's... Oh, they're just gonna go play for base? Alright. Damn. Dude, the UMT Maokai, jeez. Good cues, good positioning too. And nice ult from Ezreal. Fuck you, red numbers. I hope you see red numbers. This form of an L. Ha 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 ha. Alright, GG's. I mean, I don't think there was too much to talk about in the back half of the game. I do think that TL's lane assignments and how they get their mid to side early when they just have a minute XP and gold advantage to then put them in the long lane where they're safer is really good. And I'm really interested if a team finds a way to break this, or if we see the league copycat it. Because in my head, I think more of the league should copycat what TL's doing with their rotations. If you're a C9 fan, I mean, game 1 was nice, but I do think that you have a lot of work to do in terms of like how you answer sides. And I think that at least the game 3 draft, like I think fans had complaints, and I don't blame them too much for that. So, I think a little bit of flack was put on Thanatos, or like the lack of mid games, but I think that TL's mid game was like actually just so sneaky good, as it is usually. But man, it impacts my MVP vote hands down, and this TL team is really good. It's Impact. It's probably like Impact Yawn, and then I'll pick someone from like a different team. But you know, we'll see how TL Fly goes. I have trouble giving it to folks. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. This was a really fun VoD review, and this was a good series from each of our teams. Yeah, I think each team played pretty decently well at a lot of points. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the content, feel free to drop a like, comment, or a sub. Follow me everywhere on CubbyXX, including Twitter and Twitch, where I stream these live. And we'll see you for the next one.